What we'll focus on in this video is the basics of running the soundboard for a live show. The faders control the volume of the microphones and feeds from other channels. Turning them on and raising the faders obviously raises the volume, and lowering them turns the volume down. You want to make sure you have the volume just right, and you can tell by watching the VU meter. Next, let's look at the buttons above the faders. At the very top we have the A and B buttons. Each one of those controls something different. For example, we see here that A controls Maestro Channel 3 and B controls the computer. If I'm going to play audio from the computer, I will want to make sure that B is selected here. Otherwise, when I turn the fader on and up and hit play on the computer, we won't hear anything. Below the A and B switches, we see a group of 4 small buttons. We'll only focus on 2 of them right now. The top left button is the program button. This button must be pressed and lit so that what you play in that channel will actually go out over the air. The button right next to this one is the audition button. You want to have this button selected if you want the host to hear what you're playing in that channel through their headphones. Next, we see the 4 fader channels for Maestro, which is the program where we build and play commercials, promos, liners, and music. Here's a quick peek at what the Maestro screen looks like. We can see some breaks are already built here. Next on the board, we have the 4 channels for the 4 other stations and programs we stream. Over here is where you can assign a station or program to one of the 4 channels. Last, we have the fader for the channel dedicated to the phone lines, and right next to that, you can see where the people are calling in, on hold, or on the air. When you answer a call, you fill out the info box with the caller's name, where they're calling from, and what topic they'd like to discuss. Here you see the call screen, and the host can see the same screen in his room. The last thing you should know about running the board is the dump button. On rare occasions, someone may slip and say something they ought not, and it is the producer's job to make sure that doesn't go out over the airwaves. If that happens, you hit this dump button. That wraps up the basics of running the soundboard and producing a show.